Mic check, coffee check. This is Ace.
And this is Ivan. And this is No Decaf.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How you feeling, fam?
How you doing, fam?
Yeah, I like that. That sounds nice.
Oh, man. That's it. You want to know how I'm trash? I went to hit the applause.
And you missed.
And I missed. I am fucking tired, yo. Oh, man. How you doing? I am
good.
tired.
I can see it.
I am tired.
It's like you're looking, like, it doesn't matter where you look, all you're seeing is bed. Not even your bed, just bed.
Hope this victory juice helps out.
This is for champions.
Victory juice.
Coffee is so important in the morning. Coffee's important whenever, but it's especially important in the morning.
Coffee's awesome always. Even in the afternoons.
Get out of bed, say a prayer or a couple of words to God, thank God for another day, and then get your ass to the kitchen and make some coffee.
And while your coffee's being made, brush your teeth, you dirty people. Oh, my God. Yeah,
this is about to sound gross, but I've always been against that.
What?
I'm sorry. And I do it not just because, unfortunately, I was forced, like, I had just habit. But when I'm conscious of it, like when it's in my head, I don't do it like that. I just never understood why you would brush your teeth to just get your mouth dirty 5 minutes later. It makes no sense to me.
You're supposed to brush your teeth after meals.
So you brush your teeth when you get up and then again? I mean,
Oh,
don't
no,
get me
no,
wrong,
like that's what a dentist would say. Like he'd be like, he'd probably be like, stop brushing your teeth early in the morning and brush your teeth only after meals.
I know
Which
it
would make
sounds
a lot of
gross, but
sense.
When it's in my head, I skip. I just walk straight to the kitchen, do what I gotta do, eat, and then I brush my teeth.
I wonder, like, and this isn't compelling content whatsoever, but
Nah, y'all love.
I want to know
talk.
how much do you start spending as soon as you start listening to the dentist? I imagine it's a whole lot more than what you usually do. So because for example, a dentist would say, brush your teeth after every meal. Brush your teeth after every meal means that you're gonna at least brush 3 times, at bare minimum 3 times. Normal people just brush their teeth once a day, once in the morning, go on with their day, and that's it. So you're adding 3 times. That means that your toothbrush and your toothpaste will not last as long as it normally does. I want to know what the numeric value of that, of the extra toothpaste that you have to buy, of the new toothbrushes that you have to buy, of everything that you have to buy.
Well, I mean,
there has to be a numeric value.
it has to be
for
more
that.
expensive, but I don't think it's like.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's gonna.
I mean,
be.
not life changing. I know that's not what you're saying, but it can't be that much of a difference because you're already replacing your toothbrush every 3 months anyway. So,
well, you should at least.
This is exactly the content you guys came for.
I definitely came to hear Ace and Ivan talk about toothpaste and toothbrushes.
What else can a dentist say? I mean, besides that, floss. You have to waste money, spend money on floss.
I have never flossed in my life.
Don't lie, you flossed. I've seen you floss, just not.
Nah,
you probably don't do it always. I don't know your morning routine.
I'm flossless. Oh man, that's stupid. Flossless.
So it would just be that.
I don't even know how to do the floss dance. Oh man, that's funny.
Let's get into
It's ridiculous. All right, new music, and it's from New York City and Atlanta, basically. Unless there's more people that I'm unaware of, but
there's always Lucy's. Like
there's always Lucy's
singles that people drop.
I think I saw somebody on YouTube dropped a single, but I didn't pay much attention to it. I was like,
Young Thug and T.I. have one.
Have a single?
Yeah,
it sounds good?
Yeah, it does sound good. When you get a chance, listen to it.
I'm
not just
Young
you, the
Thug
audience, but you, the Ivan.
Young Thug is so, I don't know. He's spotty with me. Like sometimes I think his shit sounds amazing, and sometimes I'll be like, you could have done better. This is lukewarm at best. This is that perfect position of dishwater, of washing dishes water.
What is wrong?
This is the
Yeah,
perfect.
I see you're tired.
Oh man, oh, no, I'm gonna be joking a lot. I need to find a way to push through this
And wake
because
up.
yeah, but sometimes I don't know. Sometimes he's a little iffy. But besides that, we also have Conway dropping albums. You wanted to say something?
No. Keep going, Conway. Who else?
Conway dropped the
He
whole
dropped
album.
one out. Yeah,
He dropped the whole album with at least 14 tracks, 14
something like that,
14 to 16 tracks.
which makes
Might
me
just
really
be
happy.
12, but I'm
Oh,
over
that
here
would be even
exaggerating.
better. But no, I don't
He
think it's
dropped
12.
64
It's 14.
tracks.
14.
14 tracks? All right.
Yeah. Which makes
Conway
me really
drops,
happy.
and anybody who's from New York, anybody who loves Griselda, anybody who just loves that grimy, rippity rap shit, that boom bap shit,
This is for you.
this is for you. It's what they do. It is definitely what they do. So he dropped it, and it's called From King to God.
From King to a God, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm starting to like now? I'm starting to like Stormzy a little bit more. I started listening to his music. Stormzy's pretty cool. But back to new music, and I'm not gonna go ahead and bring up another tangent.
There is some. No, I mean, you can. There is some. I mean, you don't have to go too deep into the tangent, but there is some of the UK rappers that sound really good. And once again, back to my point of last episode, as humans, we're very easily impressed. Is that an accent?
Yes, we are.
Oh, he is killing it. Like Dave. I really like Dave. I feel like,
I like Dave
Drake should have done more with Dave, but
You could possibly do a little bit more with Dave. Who knows?
Dave, I like Dave.
I'm telling you, one of these days we're gonna have that conversation about dudes and dudettes who don't have the right work ethic.
Dudettes.
We are gonna have that conversation. I don't know when, but we will have that conversation of people who lack work ethic.
Who else dropped?
B.o.B dropped. What a fall off. But B.o.B dropped.
Does that excite you?
It does excite me because I've always
the
been
wrong word.
No, it does excite me, but like, no, Paul, like, whatever. I'm
You
so
are a
excited,
nasty man.
No, in all seriousness though, B.o.B
Kind of fell off.
No, he kind of fell off, but we're going to talk about that now. But let me give him his praise before we talk about how he fell off. B.o.B being one of 3 Stacks' many children. Because in terms of 3 Stacks' and Andre 3000's children, I would have him. I would have Anderson .Paak. I would have, I think that might be
It for now,
No.
of the relevant ones.
Oh yeah, at least of the
probably
relevant ones.
wait, not since Sonic, but we're probably forgetting like we always do. But
Yeah, because 3 Stacks is an alien and he doesn't have a lot of children. Like it's really hard to replicate what type of like just ability that 3 Stacks has. So he can't have a lot of children, then he stops being an alien. But yeah, those 2 would probably be the most prevalent. And it would be like there would be 2 halves of the same coin. B.o.B would be the rapping side, and then Anderson .Paak would be the singing R&B-ish side. Anderson .Paak is amazing.
what's funny is that sometimes like before I would look at Anderson .Paak and think like B.o.B would come to mind.
Look at that. But it's he dropped B.o.B dropped Somnia. He dropped that. It has 10 songs in it. I've listened to one of them because he released one yesterday.
I want to go straight to that Big Crit feature. Like I haven't heard it, but when I do, I'm probably going in order. Like for obviously just from one, I'm probably gonna go straight to that Big Crit feature.
Also, he's super underappreciated, underrated.
Who?
B.o.B and Big Crit.
Yeah, that's
B.o.B and Big Crit. But B.o.B, the reason why I say that is because B.o.B had one of the best debut albums of all time. The Adventures of Bobby Ray, song for song on The Adventures of Bobby Ray, there will be few albums in your lifetime that will have as many hits on it. He had Magic. He had Don't Let Me Fall. He had the song where Ashley Williams, and then he got the remix with Eminem. Like in your debut album, you got Eminem to do a remix. Like this isn't normal behavior. B.o.B is special when he wants to be. That's the thing. I'm a fan, and that's why I'm talking about.
Yeah, but you have to be into his type of music, like his brand of music.
Well, he was always making, I would say, poppy hip hop records, and on the second album, he got like a little woke-ish. He did Strange Clouds. He did Bombs Away with Morgan Freeman singing the in the background. Like,
This man got a whole Morgan Freeman.
he got
to be in his
more,
song.
yeah, on that second album. And I thought the second album was pretty good.
Mr. Freeman, can you be on this song with me? Well, son, it depends. Is it fire?
So it's like, and then after that, after the second album that didn't sell as well as the first album, I feel like the label just was like, okay. And that's the issue, and that happens a lot. That happens a lot. Like I can name a couple of people. Lupe Fiasco's another one like that. Like after he did Kick Push, they kind of let him. I always forget the name of that album, but he did Kick Push, where everybody remembers Kick Push, and everybody could probably sing along to Kick Push because it's just a super, like, Kick Push is one of the greatest songs like ever constructed. It's just super, like, it's just great.
I like the beats of that song.
Yeah, but it's he did Kick Push, had a charting single. The album did pretty well, and then after that he did like an album, didn't do well, and the label was like, okay, whatever. And then he came out with The Show Goes On. All right, no, I'm lying. After that they let him go, and then he came out with Superstar. And then again the label took interest. He's like, oh, okay, this guy can make another great song, another great single, charting single. Goes away. It makes another album after that. The label kind of leaves him alone. And then he does again. The Show Goes On.
Wait, did you just put Kick Push before Superstar?
Kick Push is before Superstar.
My memory is terrible. I really
Yes,
had
it is.
For some reason, I had Superstar before. Like
No, Kick Push. Kick Push was his debut album. Superstar came around midway, and then Show Goes On was the last like big single that he had. And again, it happened. Labels do that sometimes and I don't think it's a lack of consistency. I think that when artists are as creative as they are, they try to do different things and have different vibes and different, like, you know, like just try different things, right? When it comes to artists and when they try to do that, and I think B.o.B tried to do the same exact thing, and then the label shows an inability to stick with their artists, because they don't see the monetary gain of it. They can't market it. They can't, like, instead of supporting them, they just let them go and kind of do their own thing. Like, it's just, it's a bad way, because now we have a B.o.B, and this is, I say all of that to say, B.o.B had a really, really, really good debut album, had a good second album, and then from there on forward proceeded to just make work that wasn't promoted and or wasn't like marketed a certain way, and therefore it fell by the wayside, and a lot of people didn't know. I like the way he raps, I like his music, and I think his head, I think from a creative standpoint, B.o.B has one of the better creative heads, just like Lupe as well, just like a different thinking type of human being. Like, it's just that. So I'm gonna listen to this album. I say all of that to say I'm gonna listen to this album, and I really do hope that B.o.B can kind of like get some traction a little bit. Because, again,
Can we capture that magic?
No, not really capture that magic. I think people, like, remember what we were talking about last episode, how people, like, get, how people are creative? Mm-hmm. I feel like there should be more people looking out for B.o.B. You don't get compared to Andre 3000 for just without nothing being special about you. It's like the same thing with Vince Carter and MJ.
You can't say that, though. I'm not saying that's B.o.B.'s case, but you can study a goat and model your whole. I'm not saying that's what B.o.B did it, but you can study a goat and model your whole style, your whole flow, everything about you after that or like that,
and not be special. You have to be special to mimic an alien. It's kind of like MJ and Kobe.
But, that's not what
Rest in peace, Kobe.
Yeah, but you're talking about comparisons. A lot of comparisons can come just from copycats.
Oh,
and that's not
okay.
impressive. That's not creative.
Oh, okay, yeah, but
I'm not
it's
saying
not a
that's
full
B.o.B.
blown.
This is the case of B.o.B. I'm just saying you can't say the way you worded it, because
I
some people
apologize,
just
man.
copy other people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they get compared, and it's like, well, wait a minute, that's like a false equivalence. This man just copied. That's not even a thing. Like,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I can see where you're taking it. Thank you for correcting that. But yeah, that's what that's where I'm at. I wish people would just support the album and support his music, because I do believe that rapping, in terms of just rapping, I believe, like, from the ATL at least, there's not a huge crop of you guys that could rap with B.o.B. Like, Big Crit is one of the few that could rap with B.o.B.
See, that I can get behind. I love Big Crit.
Big Crit can rap with almost anybody. Like, Big Crit can rap.
My thing with B.o.B is that just how you said with Young Thug, but even though I'm like this with everybody, I'm very picky with my music. So,
but that's
you're never gonna make 100 songs and I'm gonna like each and every one of your songs. It's just never gonna happen. Not even Jay-Z, who's like the person I love the most in the rap game. Not even Jay-Z has. I would say I like maybe 80% of Jay-Z songs. There's songs I skip. It's just how I am.
Yeah, there's certain songs with certain vibes that don't.
It applies for Young Thug. It applies for B.o.B. My problem with B.o.B is that just how he's Young Thug, you say it's spotty for you. B.o.B is a bit spotty for me, but not even breaking even. He's more missed than hit for me. That's my problem.
It could be seen that way. It could be seen that way.
Not because he can't rap. He can rap. No, he does his thing, but there's song.
And he can't rap. Like if anybody ever thinks he can, like, go look at Beast Mode. Go look at Play for Keeps. Like, spit. Like, I don't even know what else to tell you guys. Like, he could rap. So but those are the two.
Conway and B.o.B.
Conway and B.o.B. If anybody else drops, we'll let you guys know. Is there any other singles, like any Lucy's that were dropped?
I cared about.
Did Lil Durk didn't finish dropping his album or anything like that?
That's actually a good question. We should probably check that. I don't think so though.
I don't think he did either. But just to make sure. I know that Marshmello dropped a song, like Martin Garrix dropped another one. Like there's a lot of just.
No, he just has the track he released last week, The Voice.
I want to know what Marilyn Manson think he's doing dropping. What is Marilyn Manson dropping in 2024?
There's something I don't understand about all these
Go.
tablets and computers and all this bullshit. Here's my problem.
Mm-hmm.
You sit down at the table and you say, and your phone is next to you, and you say, "Hey, I want to go to the beach." As soon as you open your phone back up, guess what you're gonna get on Instagram and on these other pictures of beach towels and beach balls and swimwear, anything you can think of. Exactly. Because your phone is listening to you, right? It's happened. I mean, we've seen it. It's happened plenty of times.
Alicia Keys dropped the track too. She dropped the Lucy.
Okay. What was I saying?
Go continue. About
Oh, right. So if they're already spying you that way, how is it that it's not even keeping track of what's already in your device, tablet, phone included, and saying, well, this person, this customer, however they see you, right? This wallet, because that's what you are to them.
This number.
This person has 80% hip hop stored in this device. Why are we not putting, like, why did I have to look for the Conway album? Why was I getting all that garbage in front that I don't listen to? But when I say I have to go to the beach, I get swimwear ads. That doesn't make sense to me. If the phone sees, if the phone hears, the phone, look, the phones are always here with us. They hear us talk about hip hop probably, and about rap, and about rappers, and about the culture. Why am I not getting Conway's album front and center when I open the music app?
Because they haven't tailored it like that for consumers yet. It's very simple.
I think it's a bit deeper than that, but I'm not going to accuse anybody of anything. Just
I don't think this is breaking news, but it might as well be breaking news. As I said that Alicia Keys dropped a single or dropped a song, she actually dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 songs off of her new album that I have probably coming out either by the end of this year.
I don't think that was out today though. I think that's been
gradual releases.
I know she released
on
one
new
today.
Music, so
I know she released one today, but I don't think each and every one of those songs were released today. I think some of those have been released.
They're not, but. Yeah, if anybody's a huge fan of Alicia Keys, she's dropping an album this year, 2020, called Alicia. And yeah. Oh, that was really good. That was pretty good. I'm super hyped for. I really want to listen to where B.o.B. You know who B.o.B. would be a pretty good feature with? Burna Boy. I think Burna Boy might be one of these people. Burna Boy might be working himself into a position where he'll be like T-Pain. As a feature.
I love Burna Boy.
I love T-Pain.
It's something special when you don't necessarily understand. Once again, it's so good to be able to sing along to a song, rap along to a song word for word. But when you throw all of that out the window and you're still there because you just like it so much, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, definitely. Burna Boy is special.
It's kind of like when you catch the white girl singing bachata.
Yeah, oh, that's super special. Or the black dude in the party who could dance bachata. I lose my shit. I'd be like, yo, that's my guy. That's my
You
brother.
gotta go give him dap, right?
Yeah, I'd be
Gotta
like,
go dap him
yo.
up. And there's
Real good.
nothing that makes me happier than some good dap.
Good
Fam,
dap.
when the hands fold in properly, oh, that's magic. That's how you know that shit guy. But the guy who misses you, or like gets like the bottom half of your hand, or misses 2 fingers,
Or it goes too fast.
that guy's no good.
That guy's a waste man.
Get your dap game up.
Yeah, you know what comedy special I love a lot, and it's also to tie in with the Stormzy topic and everything. Remember Mo Gilligan? The one that half his special is kind of like a performance as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my God, it came out last year. Yo, it's super fun. I just watched it yesterday again. I was like, this dude's hilarious.
I don't know how you can watch comedy specials like that.
I don't know, like, because I feel like I miss some things. Because usually you be on
actually,
your phone.
you know what?
and-
You're right. Because I get off everything to watch comedy specials.
I actually like watching comedy specials over again. It's fun. It's fun because you normally like sometimes the jokes that hit, they do hit, and some of them hit a little bit harder. But sometimes it's, you know, like there'll be jokes that you don't really kind of like catch, and then you get them on the second round.
That's what happened with Delirious.
Delirious is a
Which
is a
goes to show
masterpiece.
how me and you have always been a little bit different. Like everybody, when people talk about Eddie Murphy's masterpiece, everybody points to Raw.
I don't know why.
I disagree. I think Eddie Murphy's masterpiece is Delirious.
Eddie Murphy in Raw is funny, but I don't think it's as funny. I think Delirious is a complete special through and through. Even at the end, where it kind of like dies down a little bit, I think Delirious's first half is like amazing, like top tier.
I think the whole thing
Funny
is
as
amazing.
fuck.
There's no point for me where you can see
You
it
can
kinda,
see it degrading,
but not like
humor.
oh wow, it's super different. It's not like that. I
But
think it's amazing all the way through from start to finish.
But the Raw does the same exact thing, and it's starts off really, really, really like really strong, and then kind of like degrades down a little bit. I think that in terms of peaks, Delirious is just much funnier.
Delirious is amazing. See that I've
Pussy
watched.
be falling out my pockets and shit. Like who says this type of shit? Oh man,
That man is funny.
Eddie Murphy's a god, yo.
How many times
Comedy god.
have you watched Delirious?
Delirious? Woof. Delirious is the most watched comedy special
For me too. I think it might be in the 30s.
I might
Because
watch
the
it like
thing is
15
that I
or
know
20
people who
times.
don't watch old school comedy specials, so whenever I'm with them and they like comedy, like I put them on and I sit all the way through it with them.
Gotta put people on because people be like sleeping on like they're like Eddie Murphy, the guy who did the movies.
Like, yeah, why would you
Norbert
refer to
Norbert?
him in that disrespectful tone?
Like they you gotta understand that a lot of people aren't educated either. So like they'll be like, really, like he's that good? Like fam, Eddie Murphy was Chappelle before Chappelle. Like after Richard Pryor, probably came Eddie Murphy,
Yeah.
and after Eddie Murphy came Dave Chappelle. If I'm missing anybody, please don't judge me. They'll be like, what? This one guy from the neck of the woods that nobody knows. Oh, he was killing it back in '89. Like, fam, nobody was even born in '89.
They just skipped that year.
They skipped
88,
89.
90.
It's 88, 90. Nobody knows anybody from '89. I still haven't met anybody born in '89. Oh man.
So going back to music,
Yeah, let's go back to music.
we found out it was announced who the next verses would be, and it's looking like it's Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight. That being said, is this necessarily something that we're going to be at the edge of our seats for? Probably not. And when I say we, I'm talking about Ace and Ivan. It's not necessarily our bag. Will I watch it? Probably.
I'll watch it.
Am I super excited? No.
You want to know what the best part about these types of battles are? Well, number one, let me my thoughts on the battle is dope because I know that is for a generation that is before ours. Like if like moms might be a little bit like she
Into
might know
this,
a little
yeah.
bit. She might know she might know their catalog. But what I love, and this is why I love like these older type battles, you can hear a bunch of things. You can hear number one, influence. Like you can hear who are their children by the way they sing, by the way that they act, by the way like you can see, and then you kind of grab them and just like, okay, where did their roots like who stemmed from their roots, and then you kind of get to see, Patti LaBelle, this person, that person, this person, that person. That's number one. You can see the influence, basically radiating out of them. You can see samples, where said samples come
And
from.
that's always fun.
That's always funny. You'd be like, oh my God, I know that song.
That's always
Oh,
fun.
I thought said person did it. BS. She stole it from her. That's always dope. And then you could just like marvel at how social media reacts to these people. Because now Twitter is one thing, but even older people are at Twitter. And since they are from an era that's just, it's not 90s. It's not, it's not anything close because we're 90s babies. It's not something we're aware of. Being able to actually hear and study and just absorb that music from them is going to be like, it's going to be one of those positive experiences. Because I do believe that I just looked up how many albums they got, and it's like,
it's a lot. It's a lot of music.
Like,
I mean, it's been decades of them doing this.
Damn. It's like, it's
always fun
serious.
to see the newer generations appreciate older music. Maybe not just music, anything older creativity. Let's just umbrella it.
Yeah.
That way.
It's funny how like who I liked but they're from my era, so I was able to experience them in real time. DMX and Snoop was one thing, and they were an era from our time, and we got to see them and absorb them and understand basically what they were giving us. To see all the little kids, like all the tweeners and the lils, and to see all of them react to, and when I mean by that is like people who just got to 18, 19, 20, like you missed the whole 90s era where Snoop and DMX were losing their goddamn minds.
They were going crazy.
But to see them react to the music that was produced at that point in time, like I imagine they were like, oh, that shit is trash. They ain't no mumbling in there. But there's a lot of what's it called?
I understand them perfectly.
Right?
What sorcery is this?
What is going on? Well, nobody can understand DMX. DMX is halfway growling. Like, DMX, chill out. But yeah, it's what's it called?
I wish more people were like that, more willing to go back and study, to go back and listen, to go back and appreciate.
I think that's the biggest problem with today's and I don't think that's a today thing, because I'm pretty sure that they like DMX, Snoop Dogg were probably not
too interested. Yeah,
but
that's
then
always
again,
been like
hip hop was super young, still super young. Hip hop was only 40 years old, so it's like it's 40. I'm pretty sure that DMX was listening to like the older groups, the Run DMCs, and like they were, and
Public
that was still at the infancy of hip hop. So yeah, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight versus Coming Soon.
Yeah, they might have given the date, but I don't remember the date.
Yeah, me neither, which is why I said Coming Soon. But it's coming soon. If you guys enjoy like soulful music, R&B, or like at least the beginnings of like how basically they would like form or kind of cultivate their children. If you like, I'm pretty sure that Alicia Keys probably got some flavor from either of these two ladies. But
everybody.
Yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and check those out, stay tuned. You already know that Versus goes on iTunes if you want to see the video version of it, and if you want, music. You go on Apple Music. I apologize. Goes on Apple Music if you want to see the video or just the podcast or audio version. You can hear that as well. They usually do it on Instagram too, but I highly recommend just doing it on Apple Music or on iTunes because it just sounds and looks way better. No shot to Facebook and Instagram. And I'm not beefing with you guys, but it is what it is.
You guys is funny.
Fix your platform, god damn it. On some later news,
some sporty news.
Some more sporty news, ladies. You go ahead and have your bathroom breaks. Come back in a minute. Oh no. Well,
make
no,
your man a sandwich. Just kidding.
Just make your man a sandwich. Yeah, that's funny.
See, the guys are gonna love me. The women, not so much.
What?
Pause. You're right. Pause.
That's
what
funny.
I mean is, if I'm over here sending women to go make sandwiches, the fellas are gonna be like, "Yeah, he knows." The women are gonna be like, "Is he sending us? Well, like, what year does he think this is?" You know,
this is 2020. Women do a lot of things, like make 2 sandwiches.
It's a joke.
Oh man, I'm playing. Jesus Christ. Oh man. All right. So Football's back. I know a lot of people are hyped. Not only because football is back, but also because all of the protests going on and there, and a lot of people like it's still sickening to a degree. Let me explain why. While the Knicks and the Knicks, oof, the Chiefs and the Texans played. We love New York. We do love New York, but the Chiefs and the Texans played, and they held arms in solidarity.
Have you noticed that I spent this whole episode whispering into the mic?
I don't know what's wrong with you. We need to cut it off.
Oh, baby.
But okay, in all seriousness, the Chiefs and Texans, they stood in the middle of the field in solidarity and stood for equality during the national anthem. And Chiefs fans, regardless, this is just disheartening. The Chiefs just gave you guys a championship. Patrick Mahomes is half black, half white. He literally willed you guys to a championship, and still, the audacity of you guys to boo. I will never understand how a peaceful protest is something to be offended by. I will never understand how you can boo at something for equality, like treating humans equally is something to boo. Like I will never get it, and it's okay. Like I probably will never get it in my lifetime. My kids might never get it in their lifetimes because I just don't know how people think and how people react to certain things. But they stood for it. Football's back, which I'm hyped for. I'm hyped to see all these rookies play. I've been collecting sports cards again. It's just as a hobby, and I wanna see how some of my rookies turn out. You know, make a quick buck, flip them. You know, sell these bad boys. But yeah, football's back. I don't know how many times I've said that already, but football's back. Chiefs win. They went, yo, this is how potent, like, just Patrick Mahomes is in general. Like, he's just, of course, they got other people. Like, don't get it confused. Patrick Mahomes is the superstar, though. They went on a run of 32 points unanswered. 32 points unanswered. Mind you, Texans scored the first touchdown of the game. 32 points unanswered is absurd.
I think when you win a championship and you come back, you're still riding a high, and your confidence is way up. I'm not saying that's why they won. They have talent. That team, I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes, but there's definitely a high that you're riding when you win a championship or an important game, and you come back in whenever the next one is, even if it's been months, with confidence.
That man's another alien. That man was constructed in a factory. Just, I don't know. Patrick Mahomes. I can understand why dudes have like Patrick Mahomes as their man crush Mondays. I understand it. I get it, guys. It's like the same thing how you do like Steph Curry. Be like, this man can shoot a 3-pointer from the half court line. Like, what? Man crush, and he's the babyface assassin. But anyways, guys.
I feel like those same guys that people put as man crush, or that even guys put as man crush, are the same guys that, like how we said last week, oh, I feel like we'd be friends. Like with Adam Sandler. Another one that I don't know how I didn't bring up, which is probably the champion of the guys who I think I'd get along with, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds seems like
me and Ryan Reynolds would be best friends. Not just friends, best friends. There's an age difference and everything, but who cares? He'd like me.
How big is the age difference, though?
It has to be at least 10 years. At least.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds,
Watch
yeah,
this.
maybe. I think if anything, he's like 37 or 38. I don't think he's 40 yet.
Ryan Reynolds is 43 years old.
Holy shit. God damn. That should be a drop. That definitely should be a drop. Swiss Beats is goddamn should be a drop. Oh, man. But all we have right now for you guys is...
This shit's disgusting.
Which is still one of our... it's our only drop.
But it's the best drop.
All the other drops is just weird and stock.
So speaking about games, a lot of you women are going to be sad about this, but a lot of men are going to be happy. Women, wives, girlfriends out there, you beautiful ladies of the world, men just found out that the Xbox, a gaming system for those who don't know, the new generation is going to be lower in price than what was initially expected. A lot of you guys aren't going to see your boyfriends for a while. Once this drops,
that's facts.
You need to be ready to not see your man, your boyfriend, your husband. Some of you live in the same house and you will not see your man. He'll lock himself up in another room of the house to be left alone. Don't bother me. It's Xbox season.
It's Xbox season.
Which is something you're never going to hear me say again because I'm a PlayStation guy.
Oh, he in X Games mode. Oh, man. Oh.
This is going to be...
This is, yeah.
Everybody's
this is
inside
nuts.
anyways and bored. So imagine with an Xbox that's cheaper.
Yeah, this is going to be nuts. It's going to sell like hotcakes. And they're selling it at a loss, too.
This is gonna be a lot of breakups and divorce. Well, don't get divorced. If you're already married, just stay with the person. But
yeah, it's not.
This might be.
It's not that big of a deal, ladies. Ladies, just chill out, breathe.
Let the man play.
Let the man play a little bit. Don't worry. As long as he ain't like stop working for that shit. Like if he quits everything and just is like, oh, I'm gonna become an esports. There you break up and lose.
Suck.
You were like, I hear you crying all the time, ladies. Attack his ego. Attack his ego, ladies.
Because it's lagging.
It's
babe.
lagging. We didn't pay. We didn't pay for fiber. It's your fault. Oh man. It's what's it called? It's gonna be a great console for $299.99
I still think that's crazy.
in the holiday season.
That's crazy.
I might buy one. I wasn't gonna buy one, but I might buy one just to have it, just to have one. I might buy the different color though.
Now that
like
you say the
white and
holiday
black one is
season,
weird.
I saw that Los Angeles had canceled trick or treating,
Correct.
which brings me to a point that I've been thinking about, and that's Black Friday.
Ooh.
Black Friday is probably not a good idea with COVID.
That
That I feel like that should be spoken about. That should get handled. That should get
Oh, yeah,
canceled.
Black
Unless it's already
Friday-
canceled, I'm just behind. I just
Black
don't know.
Friday should definitely be canceled. You guys are
because
nuts.
that's just not a good idea.
Yeah, the way you've seen the
You're gonna
videos, how
fight somebody for a TV and give them COVID.
yeah,
Fam, fucking somebody up wasn't
That's-
enough. You gotta give them COVID too.
no, it's not only the highway robbery that occurs.
Fam, I lost $1,000 in your store and I came home with COVID.
COVID and ass whooping, and I lost the TV, fam. That's 3 L's. Just stay inside. Stay inside. Save yourself the fucking ass whooping and the humiliation. We've seen y'all in some of those videos. Y'all be like on the floor, like,
Can you imagine the doctor? Sir, did you go out on Black Friday? Yeah, doc, I did. Was it worth it? You have COVID? You have COVID now. Did you at least get what you were looking for? No, and I got my ass beat.
You got COVID. You got temple imprints on your face. And you have a high case of depression.
Just destroyed.
Destroyed. Oh, man. You got a high case of depression going on right now.
And my wife won't let me get that new Xbox.
Oh man, there's a lot of things going wrong.
Stay inside.
Yeah,
don't go
out.
catch COVID. Don't go get your ass whooped. Don't go lose a TV that you don't really need.
Right? I think people just look at the good deal. That's a good deal.
Fam, you got 9 TVs.
That deal's so good. Oh man, people be nuts, yo.
You can't skip on a deal that
Stick
great.
of gum for half price? Holy crap! Oh my god,
This shit's disgusting.
fam, it's
People
really
will buy
gross.
shit they don't need just because it's on sale.
Gum is $1. What are you talking about?
But you see what I mean with humans being easily impressed? Oh, sale.
And on to some pretty funny news, yo.
This shit is fun.
This is like, I don't understand people. Like I really don't. And it's just funny to just read. So Lindsey Lohan is catching fire. Lindsey Lohan's out here bugging out again, but this time on a more subtle way.
Wait, before you continue, let me just let the people listening know. To be transparent, to be clear with you guys, because we try to be honest here. I like to lie a lot, but with you guys, I'm honest. We don't really care about Lindsey Lohan.
We don't.
Just what I mean is as a topic to talk about or anything like that. But I laughed
hysterical.
really hard when I first heard this.
This is pretty hysterical. So, you know how some of these high profile, well, I would call her a made profile. A made profile actresses, actors, celebrities they get book deals, right? They do get book deals. And, you know, they'll pay you up front and you get a book deal. Lindsey Lohan's being sued. Want to know why? They said, hey, here's $365K for a book deal in which Lindsey Lohan didn't even submit a draft.
She took the money.
She just took the money and was like, nah. Nah, you ain't getting the book deal. And they got no book. So now now she's getting sued probably for like extended damages and like time wasted and all of this dumb stuff. But $365K and you don't even turn in a draft. You don't even play along. Yo, it's funny.
Just the thought of her being like, you guys are about to just front me.
365.
Yeah. Months go by. So where's that draft? Fuck y'all.
What do you mean, fuck us? You heard me. Y'all ain't getting shit. Yo, that is funny. Like, I don't
that money is gone.
What you spend it on?
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. We're not about to get canceled without even getting started.
Oh man,
that shit is fun. You think I don't have jokes? I had jokes too, but
I got mad jokes. Lindsey Lohan's head top. About to beam it to her head. God damn it, yo, it's funny.
That shit is funny.
She's insane, yo. Like this has to be white privilege. Like
that's exactly.
This has to be white privilege. I don't think if a black person gets this deal, I think they're beating up the black person. Where's that 365K? Black man.
I can imagine it like, Miss
Jesus.
Lohan, seriously, where is the money?
That shit is gone. Where's the draft? Just the draft. We'll be happy with the draft. She wrote nothing. Didn't even put the title on the page.
Just gonna take the money and run. That shit is fun. He's just gonna take the money like, yeah, I'm taking that money.
Type of shit that white people get away with. Thank you for this 300
sued at least, but I mean, where's that?
Let's hope. If anything, they'll make her pay it back. Which I do believe that she'll probably have enough money saved up from all her little projects. I hope so. I hope so. Oh. Gender reveal culture
is all fun and games until you set a whole state on fire.
Correct. And I don't even think they're that fun. I don't know. I say that as a person who doesn't have a kid and has never been to a gender reveal. I think they're kind of... Fam, I liked it when it was simple. Cool. I liked it when it was simple. I think people have just literally gone little by little and trying to like compete without competing. How are you parents competing on the reveal of your child? Somebody explain that to me.
I like the idea of not knowing that. I like the whole secrecy part and then finding out a little bit later, or even finding out the day the baby is born, which is dangerous because if you buy...
Yeah, your baby shower's gonna suck.
Exactly.
Bunch of girl stuff and you got a kid.
So I like
with
the
a penis.
secrecy. I like the secrecy of it, but I mean, I can really do without the whole gender reveal, making a big thing out of it.
I think it's gotten the way that we've been competing, because I think everybody, like the way Instagram works and Twitter works and social media works, there's somebody will see something grand, like they'll see something like over the top, something,
and they want to mimic it.
Yeah, like they'll legit like look at that and be like, oh, I could do something bigger and bigger,
better
and bigger and better,
stronger. I think Kanye West said that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Best gender reveal of all time.
That was Kanye West's gender reveal. Oh, I'm an alien. No, you're a fucking robot. That's what you are, Kanye. What the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? But I'm the best. But are you the same animal and a different beast?
It's a legendary commercial.
You're welcome.
Was that even a commercial?
That was a commercial.
That's how you know I don't watch enough TV. Anytime I saw that, it was always like on YouTube. It was never on TV.
I love that. Kobe Bryant has a plethora of great commercials. The one with Shaq and 2K, he's like, oh, I couldn't do it without without everybody. And then, but obviously Kobe Bryant, who has really nice teeth, he's like, you win this one, Kobe. Oh man, I love Shaq. But okay, so gender reveals, the way that it's gotten is really dangerous. I think the implementation of fireworks.
Well, some of them. Not everybody's doing this.
Yeah, of course not everybody's doing
It's
this.
the whole trying to get it over the top. That's where it gets dangerous.
I think y'all should have kept it as balloons. Or as like I saw one that had they do get creative with them. I saw one that the homeboy was shooting basketballs, and the hoop was it was like tied to like
that powder.
Yeah,
What's
to
the color?
powder. And as soon as he made that shot, homeboy missed like 6 times though. It was like 3-point. It's like, fam, just do a layup. Do a layup.
He's gonna get in his eye. It's a boy.
It's a boy. God damn it. But he definitely the creativity of it I like. I do think that when you guys get into like dangerous areas like fireworks,
There's been
guns,
baseball ones. I seen one with a car where they were doing a burnout and the tire smoke produced the color.
Yeah, there's some that are
baby.
safer. I do believe that I think people need to start go more on the safer route. Don't try to be so like at the end of the day, nobody gives a fuck that you're having a kid anyways. Like
Except your family.
Except your family. But apart from that, nobody on the internet cares that you're having a kid. We understand that your gender reveal is there for your memories and all of that stuff. But don't try to overdo some of these celebrities and
or
like,
just
things like that. Like,
it's not even celebrities. Like I don't think I've ever seen a celebrity gender reveal.
that's true.
It's just
Normal people,
everyday Joes,
everyday Joes, and
and Joettes
and Janes.
I like Joettes better.
Joettes.
Let's do Joettes.
Okay, but it's yeah. So keep it safe, you guys. Right now, it looks like it's the end of the world in California.
That shit is crazy. Those pictures are
according
crazy.
according to what the rumor is, somebody had a gender reveal, lit the whole stage on, hit the whole state on fire. Probably had some fireworks or something that had to do with like flammable. And we all know that California got like dry. California has two things. It has really dry, I wouldn't say vegetation, but it really, you guys know what I'm saying, like really dry grass and stuff. And on top of that, the natural gases that are produced in the fauna are actually they're flammable. That's why it's always so hard. That's why, like, if you guys ever hear anybody talk about putting out fires, you know what the crazy shit, like, how do you explain to somebody, hey, how do we put out a fire? You know what we're going to do? We're going to light the other side on fire, and we're going to have them collapse upon each other and basically, like, destroy all the natural gases that are in the area. That's how they put out fire sometimes, which is insane. You put out fire with fire.
Those pictures are really scary.
It's nuts. People have already lost their lives. And if it is true, your gender reveal just killed some people and ruined some houses. And
ruined the houses, it was ruining the land.
Yeah, like, y'all need to chill.
You see how Oakland was the other day? Those pictures, Oakland was like
brownish, reddish, orangish.
It looks like Blade Runner. I can't with these people.
Yeah, it looked like the apocalypse. It looked like Mad Max was about to pop out of nowhere with all these cars, and Morton Joe was gonna be like,
that shit is crazy.
It looks nuts. So be safe. Your gender reveal could be a little less.
Keep it light.
Keep it light. Have a couple of have it with darts.
It's funny because
in your house,
as much as people like, there's a lot of things that go wrong in California, and people insist on living there.
That's facts. California might be one of those weird states that the positives outweigh the negatives.
I hear people complain a lot, but more specifically in Los Angeles, about the air quality.
It's not good air.
I'm not even gonna get into the traffic of LA, but let's just
and gang culture.
The air quality but that's everywhere, right? Just doesn't matter where you go, you'll find a little pocket
of gangs.
Yeah, so I mean that's everywhere. But just environment wise, and then just your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like LA is a really uncomfortable place to be. Traffic all the time. The air quality is not the best. The water quality is not the best. And I hear people complain about those three things over and over and over. And they've been living in California, in Los Angeles, for years.
There's a reason why people like going to Golden State.
Not me, baby. I love New York. And I'm not a fan of I don't mind the cold. I don't like the snow. But I love the East Coast.
Because there's a certain vibe that comes along with, like, if you're in New York and it's Christmassy and there's like everybody got their lights up, it's snowing hard. Like, there's a certain vibe that's attached to that I just love.
You don't get that anywhere else.
It's almost like romantic to a certain degree.
Yeah.
It'd be like, hey, yo, lady, across the street,
It's Christmas.
I'm kissing you.
You
This
see what I mean? I keep whispering.
But
my new thing.
Your new thing is whispering on the mic.
I made that up.
But yeah,
I
it's
invented whispering.
it's special. It's definitely you invented whispering. You a sick man.
Nah, look it up. Pretend.
No, pretend. No, I don't want to pretend anything. I'm real. You definitely weren't the first person to whisper. Adam was the first person to whisper. Be like, yo, we are naked. He was like, yeah.
Think about what you're saying.
I now recognize you leave a lot to be desired.
Because I know what you like to do. You open these doorways of conversation when people walk through.
Oh, man.
First off, he didn't have to whisper because there was nobody around. Why would he whisper?
God was around. What are you talking
God
about?
could hear a whisper, and he knew
Why
that.
do you hide my sons and daughters?
Daughters, sons, it's just them too.
Oh, okay, fine. Why do you hide my kids? Because we're naked and we're
But yeah,
embarrassed.
back to the point. I take New York and East Coast any day of the week. Don't get me wrong. I love warm weather. I love Miami. That is
Facts.
East Coast, but I love all that. But I love, like, I'm never gonna stop loving New York.
I love New York.
I mean, it's cheating because that's where we're from. But
Yeah.
speaking about Los Angeles and all those things on the West Coast, Keeping Up with the Kardashians is gonna have its last season. It's done.
20 seasons.
Strong run.
Very strong run. Like, there's not a lot of shows. Like, I think the amount of shows that have gone 20 seasons is like
Yeah, but
top 10 category.
But this is a bit different. This wasn't like that. Doesn't mean 20 years.
Oh, I know that. I know
Okay.
that. I know that. So, but 20 seasons is still a lot of seasons. Like, you know what I think it is? I think the fight. I watched the fight. The fight is funny.
What fight?
The fight between Kim and Courtney.
I think I
The
saw that too.
fisticuffs.
I think I saw that too. That sounds familiar.
I like it because Chloe's around there. She's just laughing at it at the start, and then when she sees that, like, they're really serious, like, oh, I need to intervene. But it was funny. It was pretty funny. It's two sisters fighting, and you never want to see it. They got a little bloody because nails and claws. But you could always tell, like, they've never been in an actual fight before.
I would only watch this if it was out of my control. That's not like a slight to them. It's just what I mean is if I
It's
was
just not
over
for
somebody's house and they were watching it, like who am I to be like, hey, take that off the TV? Like I'm not, or somebody, or my mom sometimes would be watching it.
Yeah.
Maybe go to tar or something. She'd be watching and I catch a glimpse, but it was never something that I sat down for.
Yeah, I wasn't ever looking at
what I'm
was
saying
the
is
new-
this whole finishing thing doesn't really affect me because I never really watched
it really doesn't. We are doing it because it's Kim, and one day we are gonna have the conversation of Kim's impact on just culture in general.
which doesn't get spoken about, but I mean it's there.
It's there. We see it every day on Instagram. Kim is all y'all moms. All of y'all. And y'all know who exactly y'all is. Kim is the originator of what y'all do on Instagram right now. Thirst trapping is a Kim thing. And I'm gonna leave it at that because we're not ready to have that conversation. Well, we're not gonna have.
Would
the
you do this?
conversation. We are ready, but we are.
If you were somebody of importance and of considerable fame, would you?
Would
Do
I
a
do
reality
reality
TV?
show? No. What I would do
Good
is
man. Good answer.
I would do a documentary on separate instances of like different projects. Like when I drop my first album.
The streets ain't ready.
But when I do drop my first album, I will do a documentary on it.
So you're really planning on like dropping it out? Like this is something you really want to do?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I would not do reality TV either.
I
see more a documentary, not like you're saying with every project. No, just
Well,
maybe a
well,
one-time thing. If
well,
I was ever,
I would love it. And again, I don't. It's the same thing with me and music, and it's the same thing with like me and Docs, and it's the same thing. I wouldn't do it for anybody else. I would do it because I would like to see it. God forbid one day I get like Alzheimer's or something like that, like, and I forget like everything. I would love to be able to watch and be like, okay, that's where I was. That's who I was at that point in time, and it would be just documenting.
I was kind of awesome.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, like, I'd be
Can
like,
you
who is
imagine the
this?
happiness of forgetting who you are, but then you look back and you're like,
That kid was pretty good. Like,
I
holy shit.
was the shit. Wow,
Yeah.
I did good.
Or you probably don't even know that that's you. You'd be like, oh, this guy's pretty good. Why am I watching this again? Yo, Alzheimer's is a crazy thing.
Kids are
But-
next to you, like you see all those women on that doc. That was all you. I got that much pussy.
Damn. Yo, Alzheimer's is a scary thing. It's a scary thing. We do crack jokes, but in all seriousness, shout out to everybody who has to deal with all of that. Our prayers are with you. Definitely.
It can't be easy.
But that would be my that would be why I would like to document it. Like document any project or thing like that. So it's for me. Like I never do any like type of art or anything for anybody else. I just do it because I want to see it.
So you do a docu, like a movie, like an
hour
2-hour thing for a first album. What would be the other achievements that merit a documentary?
Oh no, I would do it for you. I would do it for everything. I would do it.
Or you're talking about one that encompasses everything.
Oh no. One per project.
And how many projects are you thinking about getting into?
Oh, I don't know.
Because music is one. So first album, it wouldn't be for every album. It'd be one.
It might be for every album though.
Geez,
well, the reason
that's a lot of documentaries.
They're gonna lose. It is a lot of documentaries, but I always do believe that, for example, let's say I give it a Netflix, you go on and look for Ivan and just be like, okay, Ivan. And under it would be episodes. You'd be like, okay, so episode 1 would be album number 1.
That's not a movie. That's more like a
documentary
season.
Number 1. It'll turn into a docu-series eventually. But that's not the point. The point is that I would do it because...
The thing is, if you do a lot, it kind of dilutes the whole thing. I feel
in a sense, yeah, you are right. But I do believe that each and every project stems from something different. It stems, like, I would never do an album. I would never do back-to-back albums that sound exactly the same and that are meant with different.
That's true, but to do a documentary for every album you put out, that's
maybe
insane.
Maybe not. Things change. I might just do one. Or I might do one that encompasses, like, that would be dope, but that would be like a 10-hour project. That would have to be a docuseries then, if I did it like that. But I digress. Yeah, music, my first ever like movie that I acted in or voice acted in, I would like to document that. Just anything creative. My first painting, like I want to draw, like I like my first painting. Yeah, like I would love to just document that and just have that as like Andy Warhol's my guy. And Andy Warhol even documented himself giving head to another guy. Like, Andy Warhol's a sick individual, but he's also a genius. Like, crazy. Andy Warhol's just super intelligent, just brilliant and way ahead of his time. But yeah.
That guy must have been uncomfortable. Why is he taking a picture of this?
Like, just weird stuff. Like, he once documented himself sleeping just to document himself.
Didn't he he took a picture of himself like drunk or throwing up or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
I heard about something like that.
I also remember that one of his famous art pieces was it was like ionized metal, and he peed on it.
That's what it was, I think.
That's what it was. Yeah. He peed on it and told his friends to come over and pee on it as well, so he can see how the different types of diets that everybody had a different effect on the metal. Yeah, just a sick, like, read up. Like, he's one of those weird individuals that was like just ahead of his time and knew where the culture was headed, just in terms of just media, audio, video. Like, he like, there's a reason why he was making paintings of Campbell's chicken noodle soup, Marilyn Monroe, and like, yeah. Like, he was ahead of his time. Like, he was 20, probably 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. He died in like 60-something, in 1960-something, 62, 63, more or less. But just way ahead of his time in terms of what he was doing at that point in time. He was in Studio 51 doing all types of drugs.
That's what you can't be saying.
He was, though.
But going back, so documentaries on Netflix. So you wouldn't do like a big screen release. It would be like more of a season thing?
The first one might be a big thing. The second one, if I were to do a second one, I would have to then be like, okay, episode 2 coming out of this and this and that.
So speaking about documentaries, what are your a question just came to me. I think it's really good. What's your favorite Netflix documentary? Netflix.
Are we talking about
not that's from somebody else and is on Netflix? It's original. The property belongs to Netflix.
Oh damn, that makes it a little harder. My original, like the original Netflix documentary, because they got a lot of docuseries that I like Dirty Money is from them. I love Dirty Money. Dirty Money is like some seriously nasty behavior from a lot of powerful people. It's just disgusting. But if you like economic, like kind of dirty plays and like just dirty behavior, watch Dirty Money. Dirty Money will talk about like Martin Shkreli, who has the rights to the Wu-Tang album that was never released, which I fucking hate. But yeah, Martin Shkreli, it has like the maple syrup debacle when they stole mad amounts of maple syrup from Canada. Crazy. It's not that interesting, but the fact that a whole barrel of maple syrup can cost $12,000 is absurd to me. But that's how Canada is, and that's just the way it is. They had a bunch of like, it's just a lot of like really cool things. They talk about Donald Trump and how in reality what his worth is and like just how it is. But we'll leave that there. I'm not gonna get into that too much, but yeah, it just has a lot of really cool things. My favorite doc, because I think that some of my favorite docs aren't from Netflix.
What about Making a Murderer?
Making a Murderer was really good. I have a problem watching with shows like that because and the crazy part was that homeboy was a white guy. That's the crazy part. I have an issue watching those types of shows because it just makes me think our justice system is flawed. Like super flawed. Like, how does this even go on? Like, how are people able to influence the justice system in a certain type of way where you get locked up for 30 years? And it wasn't 30 years again. I'm just throwing numbers out there. But how, like, it just bothers me. It bothers me on a different level. I like The Family.
Another one that's really good, that's probably up there for me. I know we said one, but look how we just can't pick
No, we
one.
could. Yeah, we can't pick
there's
one.
one called The Keepers, about a nun that was killed.
Oh yeah, you told me about
that one. Is really good.
That's another one. Again,
that
when
one
it comes
really good.
to the justice system being flawed, and then churches and nasty behavior in the church, yeah, I try not to. I try my best not to, because then it just makes me think
It weighs heavy on you.
it weighs a little bit too heavy on me, and it just makes me sad. Makes me super sad. There's a reason why to this day, probably the best documentary that they have on Netflix, but I refuse to watch it, is When They See Us. I refuse to watch When They See Us. Because like I've told Ace a long time, the day that I watch When They See Us, you're going to have to like legit just leave me alone for probably the next 24 to 40
Yeah,
hours.
Ivan is definitely that guy that when he watches things, you can tell like they affect him. I don't know if it's because he puts himself in that situation or he can just relate to it really closely. I don't know.
It's both.
I don't know how his head works, but the point is that he really feels what he's watching. Like, I have no interest in sad. Like, I watch them, but because they don't bother me. But when Ivan is watching a sad movie, let's give you an example of a sad movie, The Boy in the Striped Pajama. I don't know if he's watched that or not, but if he were to watch that, I'm pretty sure he would cry.
I cried for lesser things than The Boy in the Striped Pajama.
For example, The Green Mile, I watched with a straight face, and I like that movie. But if I turn to my left or my right and look at Ivan, you just see the tears.
But that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
But it's to give an example. That movie doesn't make me cry, but it makes you cry.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I feel like every time, it's not even a one-time thing, because some people cry the first time they see something like that, and then they get used to it because it's a movie, so they watch it again.
Spoiler
I feel like
alert.
you'd cry every single time you watch it.
Spoiler alert, that one scene when Kofi is with the two kids, I won't say what he's trying to do, but with the two kids and they find him, fam, and he's just asking why. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. It's hard. It's hard because the thing is that I do try to, I kind of, it's one is my sympathy and empathy. I think I have, I have that in great amounts. I'm very sympathetic. But it's also, I try to put myself in that situation. How would I react? And then I also try to imagine myself in the situation where I have to deal with it. So it's like, damn. So the Central Park 5, I know the story. The fact that it's dramatized, you have the Dominican, the one of the Dominican, young Dominican actors that is, he's growing and he plays one of the roles. John Leguizamo's in there. It's done by Ava DuVernay. Like it's a lot of things, and I know where they taking it, and I refuse to watch it because I know that it's gonna fuck me up. Basically, is why I refuse to watch it. But that one was really good. Like, as far as the ones that are not for Netflix, and it's on Netflix right now, Last Dance, the Michael Jordan doc, I think I said in the last episode that it was like 6 or 8 episodes. No, it's 10 episodes. And, I love that documentary. but it's not. It's a docuseries. But yeah, that
you do learn a bit about Michael Jordan. I don't think it's necessarily something that's super eye opening. You kind of have an idea of who Michael Jordan is. The documentary
he's a nasty man.
The documentary kind of feeds into that, and just lets you know, yeah, you were right. This is who Michael Jordan is, but it's nothing. Like, it's good. Don't get me, like, I love it, but it's nothing. Like, you're not necessarily learning something new about Jordan. You might learn something new about other people.
Yeah. You learn about the circle. You learn about his not only him, but also you get to learn the finer details of him, but you also get to learn how his immediate actions had a profound effect on the circle that he was around, on the people that he was around. And it was super interesting. That Scotty deal was absurd. The fact that Jordan was out here just punching Steve Kerr and doing all types of crazy.
That's the only thing about that whole thing I didn't like about the whole documentary.
Yeah, but he hit that shot though.
Speaking about Michaels, me and you have had this conversation before. we always ask each other, not always, but we have asked each other in the past who's the best Michael, Tyson, Jackson, Jordan, and then I always that's the obvious question. You name those three, right? Who's the best Michael out of those three? But there's always one that I bring up that gets left out because people are really in tune with racing and car stuff. But there's also Michael Schumacher. Michael Schumacher is a championship-winning F1 driver. And say what you want and call racing boring, call car stuff boring. Not me, I'm a car guy. I love car stuff, but call it boring. But there's something to be said about a person who's in the seat of a weapon,
of a death machine,
going 200 plus miles an hour, even if it's in circles.
Some type of conditioning to do that.
Like, legendary drivers have died.
Facts.
Granted, legendary boxers have died too. Boxing. Maybe not legendary, but boxers have died in the ring.
Yeah.
But I think more
boxers, basketball players have died on the court.
Also. But
very limited amount, but yeah.
Whereas with racing, I don't know if you know this, but for example, with F1 racing, there's a day before where they practice and get practice runs in the track. They're set to I don't know what you want to call it, perform at the next day, the day of the real race. Some people die in that practice. People have died.
Jesus Christ.
Like, F1 is no joke. I don't watch it religiously or anything like that. I'm just, But yeah, so we always have the conversation. Well, there I go again, lying with the always. We sometimes have the conversation about who we think the best Michael is. I say, not the best, but maybe the most influential and the most impactful. And I say it's Jackson.
And I say Jordan.
And that's a conversation we're not going to have right now because it'd be too long, but
one day we will have that conversation.
We might have it next episode. I don't know, but that's a conversation we have to be ready for.
Because to me, and this is where I get a little disrespectful, I give credit where credit is due in terms of what Jackson has done, but then I also think about Mike Tyson's legacy, and I think about Jordan's legacy, and I just look at the negative connotation that was also around Jackson's. So it's like,
but let's see how we could put this. Legacy is
he might be the third best Michael, is what I'm saying.
Legacy should definitely be considered, but when you look at the question about the most impactful, I don't think that legacy necessarily matters as much because I feel like we're looking more about when they were alive, doing what they did best. Granted, two of them are alive, but when they were in their prime, doing what they did. I say Jackson.
But and this is also a point to me. And we're not going to have the conversation, but this is a point to mine. The problem with Jackson is that Jackson, when in his prime, we talk about off the wall and bad. In his prime, he was arguably the biggest, arguably the biggest, because on the other side of the spectrum, you had the biggest superstar, but you also had the most rebellious superstar as well, which was Prince. And to this day, God rest both their souls, to this day, you'll have people debate whether Mike or Prince. Now, when it comes to the two other Michaels that I'm talking about, there was no debate. We knew exactly where those two Michaels were and where they were the best and exactly who was the best, and there was no competition. And that's a point in my favor. Mike Tyson had no competition until his later careers, but Mike Tyson in his prime, nobody wanted smoke with Mike Tyson in his prime.
Nobody wants smoke with Mike Tyson now.
Fam, I'm running for Mike Tyson.
I can't wait for that fight.
The Roy Jones and
Yeah.
Mike. Yeah. And then Jordan, well, we know there's a long laundry list. Like, don't make me start talking about Carmelo, Charles Barkley, John Stockton,
I know.
Patrick Ewing. It's a plethora of players with 0 rings. Like, Jordan had to retire for Hakeem to get 2. There's no debate when it comes to these 2 Tysons, and that is why I say it goes Jordan, Tyson, Jackson. Where you would say Jackson, Jordan, Tyson, correct? Or would you say...
No,
okay.
that's it. I'd put it Jackson, Jordan, Tyson. If it's those 3 and then throw in Schumacher at the end.
And also, I don't think...
Just out of being respectful. My thing with Michael is that, obviously, Michael, they're all Michael. My thing with Jackson is, I put a lot of stock into the people that aren't in the mix, yet they still know. There's something to be said for that. Nobody ever wants to pay attention to those people, but there's something to be said for that. When even people who are, let's say I like to jump rope, and people who know nothing about the jump rope scene know my name, know what I do, just when my name comes up. I feel like that happens more with Michael Jackson than with Prince, just to give you an example.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right?
I believe that.
And I feel like that's not enough to say, well, this is why my argument wins. But there's more. We'd obviously have to really sit down and think about this. But Prince is a legend.
We can make a whole
There is no
documentary about
arguing
this.
that Prince is a legend. But he's not Michael Jackson. Whether that be a good thing or a bad thing. Because one could say, yeah, good that he's not Michael Jackson. Prince has a clean... Which I probably prefer Prince's clean slate, I guess you could say.
I think
Like, there's not too much scandal. And I
No,
love the fact
there's
that he
not.
was rebellious. Like, I love that about him.
yeah.
Whereas
that
Michael,
would be his impact on what he was saying for future generations on, okay, you should earn your masters. You should the deals that
but
I've
you
been
know
doing,
how
like all of
people
that.
are.
I think that
When
is
you're
a
trying
lot
to
more
kick
impactful.
no, you're right.
Oh, no,
And
of course.
knowledge is a beautiful thing. But you know how people are when you're trying to teach them something.
Oh yeah,
People don't want to be taught. People want to be entertained.
that's true.
That's just how people are.
Which is why they're
Once
on
again,
separate
going
sides
back
of
to
the
my
spectrum.
original argument of we're really simple. Human beings are the most simple creature. You just got to put a yo-yo in front of us and we will stay still for a while just looking up and down, up and down. We're so easily impressed. Michael Jackson, to me, was the more impactful, the bigger. Michael, and out of that, Prince versus Jackson,
Michael wins.
Michael wins. That's not to say that
He beats
because
Tyson
when you
and
get like
Jordan.
deep into it, there's things that you can pull and be like, well, no, Prince this or Prince that. And maybe the way Prince did things is more meaningful.
Yes.
How can I give an example of this?
I think the collective, and this is, and that's another conversation for another day about Prince versus Michael. But it's the other, that's the, I think in cumulative, I think in the total,
yeah,
grand
the
total of
totality.
in totality of what Prince does, I think he beats Michael in that sense. But I do think that at stardom, which is what I believe you're saying, that at peak stardom, like just how impactful Michael was, grabs a dance that nobody knows about, creates it and makes it amazing, has the best, 2 of the greatest albums of all time, and like Quincy Jones is a legend.
I think if you grab 10 people and ask them who they prefer, 7 are going to say Michael Jackson.
I do believe that, but I do believe that because of stardom, not because they know music.
You know, remember what I said earlier? We're talking about that impact. If people just
Oh,
know
yeah,
who
of course,
you are,
yeah.
even when they're not in that mix.
Correct.
And
Everybody rocks Jordans, by the way.
that's pitting them against each other.
Yeah.
But even this might be a bit insulting, but I also feel like the younger generation, more of them are more
More MJ than Prince. Yeah.
like
Yeah. Prince doesn't have a lot of kids either. Also, Prince is an alien.
Prince should have more kids though.
He should have more kids. Prince does not have a lot of kids. And when I mean by kids, a lot of people would like hear this and be like, what do you mean by kids? People who are directly impacted by Prince and therefore their music resembles and or evolves or is
basically
derived
his
from
creative
Prince.
offspring.
Yeah, basically. That would
This
probably
is
be the better way.
You know, it's funny because we were talking about the Michaels, but then this Prince and Michael really makes you think,
Yeah.
because I can even sit here and say sometimes that I think that Prince was more gifted, just focusing on the music. Musically, Prince might have been.
Prince played like 3 different instruments, and also sang.
A big thing with Michael is that Michael changed the game with dancing.
Correct.
People don't just talk Michael Jackson music; they bring up the dancing a lot too. I would
Correct.
say
And Jackson
sometimes
5,
half
and Jackson
of
5.
Absolutely. I would say half of the time when they're talking about Michael Jackson, they're talking about his dancing.
Which he got from James
Great
Brown.
songs. We love the songs. We don't love the latter half of his life and all these things that are coming out, things that he was accused of before.
Sheltered
but
superstar.
I don't want to talk too much about that because I hate tarnishing people who I had like strong feelings for. And when I was younger, I was obsessed with Michael Jackson. The point is that it's a difficult conversation to have because there's so many like tiny points where one has a dub and one gets the L.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to like kind of add those up to then maybe come to the conclusion. But to the original argument, I think that the most impactful, most revered Michael, whether it be at his prime or not, I think is Michael Jackson, and then goes Jordan, and then goes Tyson.
And I would say that due to his longevity of just the way he played his career, comes back, still averages 20+ points a game, makes an all-star game. The shoe legacy, owning a team, like I think Jordan wins on like, and it's not even close. I think Jordan wins. It's not even close. The real conversation for me would be Tyson and Jackson, who gets number 2, because Tyson also has a negative connotation on his latter side of his career. As soon as he bit into Vander Holyfield's ear,
no, there's other things.
It was like, then there's the drugs, there's
other things, but we're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk. We're not going
we love Tyson here, so also I would really hate to get soft.
And also, yeah, that's true. Also, but the evolution of how he is now, I think the peak, the top tier peak, his peak, as high as he was, top of the world, best pound for pound, and probably arguably, people still to this day will say Muhammad Ali would want no smoke with Tyson. Then we're Iron Mike. And there's people that will say, yo, Iron Mike will demolish, just because out of pure boxing of how much of a monster he was in both their primes. They said Muhammad Ali is too smart for Tyson, and then I would say it's really smart, has nothing to do with it when you're getting hit with a freaking fastball basically in your gut.
Ali was very smart man.
Very smart.
When it comes to just focusing on boxing, Ali wasn't that much smarter than Tyson. Tyson has a gift for boxing. You can't take that away from him.
Yeah.
You leave everything that happened, that one thing that happened in the ring, and everything else out of the picture. Just focusing on boxing. Tyson is a gifted man. He was put on this earth to box. Watching old footage, from his fights in the 90s and the late 80s, it's scary.
When he came in bobbing and weaving.
You see these big arms moving at light speed, and you cannot believe. And then you see the way that the body of the victim, because that's what I call him, goes limp upon impact. It's those, people use the term heavy hands. Mike Tyson had heavy arms. It's
different. If you weren't part of it and you haven't watched videos of it and you just don't it's hard to even explain. But that would be the real conversation for me. Tyson and Jackson, who gets number 2 for me? Because I think that Michael Jordan, with all his longevity and all the great things that he's done, and all the tiny bad things that he does, like snuffing Steve Kerr, like allowing Scotty to have that weird ass deal.
It's really small compared to the other bad things that the other Michaels have done.
Exactly. Because nobody's perfect, but that would be
Michael Jordan had a bigger impact. I'll say this: Michael Jordan had a bigger impact on the culture.
Yeah. On
hip hop culture, on the culture we love. That's where Michael Jordan had a bigger impact.
With a gold ass Cuban
in general, totality, the bigger picture, I say Michael Jackson.
I say Jordan. And we'll leave it there. Thank you guys for watching
and listening.
Don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead and hit that like button. Share it with your friends. We're going to start putting these in individual clips, by the way. So if you guys want to just hear separate segments, I will be separating them. And as always, you guys can follow us or subscribe to us on Spotify, YouTube, all of the links down in the description below. You can also check out our Instagram. We also have a Twitter up. Check us out. Make sure that you guys just, keep on. We're trying to do this thing as consistently as possible.
And we haven't missed.
And we appreciate you guys. We haven't missed so far. That is true.
Also, just before we sign off, just a bit of an apologies. This episode might not have been the best. We tried to pick it up at towards the latter half of it, but it's just my partner here didn't have the best night of sleep is what it looks like. And we do record these for you guys. We got together early in the morning just to record these. Coffee in hand, obviously, because the coffee's always here.
Hell yeah.
But just a bit of an apologies. If it sounds like things were a bit slow today, that's all that happened. But we're definitely going to try to pick it up and always give you guys good energy. And whenever we can. But, shit happens.
Yeah.
As always, the new episodes are every Wednesday, and
every
Saturday.
Airs every Wednesday and every Saturday.
You can look for the name of the channel, kNOW DECAF. No Decaf, spelled the same way on Instagram, spelled the same way on Twitter. kNOW DECAF. Oh, I didn't say YouTube?
Yeah.
YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Same name, spelled the exact same way. So follow us. I can't wait for this thing to start growing. We got a couple of views last week, and I got so hype. But yeah, man, I just want this to keep growing. We do this for y'all. And yeah, man. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Signing out.